Earn your degree in less than 12 months for under $11,000. University of...
I was frozen today.
That's pretty great. We're playing herstory. I tried searching for butts. 0 results found. Zero entries found. Sand. No sand. No butts. No booty. What am I supposed to do here? Give me words. Cheese. How about stabbing? Knife. Oh!
Well, she has a knife.
Knife!
She's been cooking, I guess. She's been cooking him his favourite meal. She's his wife. And he's asleep and she doesn't want to wake him because he's ill. That's why she's sad.
Is this her story?
Because he's ill and he might die.
But where's the climax? Where's the rising drama? And there's no ending? Bad story. What about this one? Also about a knife.
Mother wanted me to grow my hair long, but I kept cutting it myself.
Are you the same person as
I
before?
wanted to look like my reflection. She always had short hair when she was little. Mother would hide the scissors, but I would find a way. Cut it with a bread knife, something like that.
That wouldn't work.
My reflection would always leave her house and go on adventures, but I never could. Mother taught me at home, and I had books and TV. Oh, TV was magical, but it was only on when it wanted to be, so I spent a lot of time reading books.
3794. What was this one? 2706. So it was earlier. Like just a few days. Like a week? 5 days? How many days are in July? 529,600 days in July. I want to learn more about hair cutting. It's too many.
Simon is 6 foot, darkish blonde hair, average build.
Simon.
He's clean shaven.
This is earlier.
If his beard grows, it goes ginger, so he shaves it. I mean, not that there's anything wrong with ginger hair. I bought a photo. They said a spring photo. This was taken last year on holiday in Rome. It's the best one I have.
Asshole. Beardist. Ginger. It's just that one. Beard. Mustache. I need more drama. What about death?
They said it was food poisoning. There was something in the food they ate. My dad liked
It was me.
mushrooms.
I was the turkey all along.
They said it was the mushrooms.
Ha ha!
It was hard to believe. Death caps. They have a skirt around the cap. My dad taught me that. But, I mean, the police had no reason to think it was suspicious. They lived alone. And no one had any reason to hurt them.
Death caps. Death caps. Caps. Lock. Go!
Yeah, I had to let myself in. The door locks if it swings too. Yeah, I had to let myself in. The door locks if it swings too. Yes, I always pull it shut and then lock the bigger lock with the key.
Why are these all separate?
Okay. I parked up in the street. It was busy, so I had to park down the end of the road. Walked up, knocked on the door, no answer. I took my keys out of my bag and unlocked the door. The main lock was unlocked. You can tell because the key doesn't turn when you try to turn it to the left. I walked in. Simon's coat wasn't on the peg. I couldn't see his shoes in the shoe rack. I shouted out. I walked straight into the kitchen because he usually sits in there to have a cup of tea and read his paper, but he wasn't there. I touched the kettle. It was cold.
Kettle.
I looked quickly in the living room. Nothing. So I walked upstairs to the bedroom and he wasn't there. I didn't search for him because it was pretty clear he wasn't there. I had a shower. The phone rang whilst I was in the shower. I didn't answer it. I think it was Eric. Then I was just exhausted. So I lay down on the bed and I fell asleep, though I didn't mean to. I woke up a couple of hours later and I was surprised to see no one in the bed next to me. And then I remembered where I was and what had happened. That's when Eric called again. This time I spoke to him. Then I called Doug and Eleanor. And then I decided to come and see you. That enough?
Kettle. Calling the pot black. Pot calls a kettle black. Pot. Black.
Black coffee, thanks. No sugar. Sweet enough as it is.
Black coffee. Psychopaths. Psychopaths. Path to the house. There was a house.
He was wearing a shirt, a blue turtleneck shirt and jeans. He has a watch. It's a really nice one. That was a gift from his boss, Eric. He had his coat, a long grey duffel coat, like Paddington Bear. He would have taken that with him. It's not in the house.
Watches. Watches. Watch. Just watch. Let's just start with watch.
I guess you could call it that, but we were both happy to get married. It was a beautiful wedding. We had our first dance to Come Back and Stay. I'm not sure if that's a good wedding song, but I loved it.
Wedding.
I chose it. I mean, it was genuinely our first dance. We'd never danced together before. It was probably awful to watch, but
It's called detective work, Paige.
it felt like it was just me and Simon for that moment. Just the two of us.
Wedding. Wedding. Webbing. Webbing. Spider-Man. Spider's venomous poison.
At the time they said it was poison, food poisoning. I mean, I felt so guilty. If I'd still been at home, maybe I could have done something. I didn't.
Food poisoning.
I got a job to contribute, you know. Doug knew someone and I got a job as a dinner lady at the primary school. They said it didn't matter if I could cook or not, just don't poison the kids.
Poisoning children.
So you see, it's always been complicated.
Children.
Between us. It's never
Child.
just been the two of us. There's always been pressure.
Childbirth. Pregante. Preganina. Oh! We got mucho pregante.
I got pregnant.
Hmm.
Both our parents had a big powwow.
Powwow.
We weren't even in the room. And they decided we should get married. Yes, I'm fine. I won't be sick again. This happens some days. I'm pregnant.
Pregante.
It's morning sickness.
Morning sickness. Down with the sickness. Disturbed. Disturbed. Bothered. Angry. Oh!
This was about 9.
9.
I went round and she was waiting for me. She was furious and so angry. The kind of anger you can only have towards yourself.
9.
We screamed at each other, argued, cried, we fought. I hit her back, left a bruise.
Violence.
I had my wig on from performing, she tore it off. Eventually,
Wig.
we grew tired of fighting and I left.
Wig. 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 Bald. Bald. Cancer? No. Bald. What else makes you bald? Old man. Bald One Punch Man. Punch. Hit. Did you do a hit? Oh!
Bruise. Oh, yeah, no, it's nothing. I was going through the top cupboard in my kitchen and the chair slipped and I kind of hit the door with my face. I mean, it hurt like hell.
I think she's lying. Because that story sounds too ridiculous.
When I arrived in Glasgow, I was exhausted.
Wow.
The streets were empty.
We're in the UK now, baby. We got the days ahead of the months. People saying whilst, and my computer has something on it that says rubbish bin.
The guy was so pissed off because I didn't have a driving license on me. But when I told him I was pregnant, he made sure I got to the hospital so they could check me out. It was fine. The hospital must have details when I was looked at. There's a scratch on the
L'Hôpital.
front.
Math. Calculus? Is it calculus? Is that trig? Calc. Nine.
I didn't. I slept in the car. I left about 9 that night. I wasn't there.
Nine. Hitler. Nazis. Racist. War.
Florence was a warm, kind person.
Florence.
She was
Annapurna.
broken.
All comes back.
When I found her diary, I also found a biscuit tin with other stuff in it. Older papers, letters, that kind of thing. Her story wasn't there.
We have a name of the game.
I spoke to her about it.
We've
I was
won
far
it.
too young to
We
really
win.
understand. I guess I just put it together later, once I was older. She had loved children, planned to have a large family, but her husband died in the war. And that was back when you married for life. She never felt like she could marry again. Isn't that strange? She was a widow from her 20s. But, I mean, I guess it was different then. You know, you married for life and she felt she could never marry again. I guess it was harder, a war widow.
War widow.
One of the dead.
Widow.
I don't know, maybe there was more to it than that. I don't really know.
Widow. Widow. Black Widow. Spiders. Charlotte's Web. Pig. Wilbur. Spider? Widowmaker. Overwatch. Tracer. Shooter. Shoot. Gun. Gun.
Please escort this suspect for interrogation.
Sweat. Sweeter. Sweet.
Diane is really... Diane is really nice. She helps out with the Glaziers, organises the Christmas party, that sort of thing. They have 2 kids, really sweet kids. She used to look out for me when I worked there.
Read me that text. Really read me. Rubbish bin. Log off. Southeast Constabulary. Great Grace hack? Cracks with class. Why am I playing Othello by myself? I guess I'm player one. I'm a testimony interrogation anymore. I don't know. What's the point of anything? Query history. Booty, butt, sand, cheese, stabbing knife, hair, asshole, beard, disc, ginger beard, mustache, death caps, lock, pot, black, psycho, house, watch, piter, poison, pregante, pregnant, pregnant, disturb. Disturbed, bothered, angry, cancer ball, old man, one punch, hit a calc, 9, racist war pig, Wilbur, spider, shoot gun, sweet. Butts, booty, sand, cheese, stabbing knife, hair. I could see that being like a Beastie Boys song. Butts, booty, sand, cheese, stabbing knife, hair. But Beastie Boys. Beastie Boys. Boy.
Well, my friend Eve. Well, she was a friend from when I was a kid. And she was always more popular with the boys, and I used to hate her for it. I mean, really
Hook, hand, man,
sometimes.
car, door. What was that? I wasn't paying attention.
Well, my friend Eve. I mean, she was a friend from when I was a kid. And she was always more popular with the boys, and I used to hate her for it. I mean, really hate her sometimes.
Is this all interrogation? Add to session? Access limited to the first 5 entries. Oh.
Was he my first? No need to be so coy. No, he wasn't my first. That would have been Carl. He was a local boy in a band.
Boy in a
He was a
band.
bit of a shit. But he was sexy.
Boy in a band. Boy in a
We were
band.
15.
Red hair. Red. YouTube. Influencer. What's this do? Anti-glare filter. Oh. What do you guys like more? Yeah, I'm gonna leave the filter on, I think. I guess I'll read this. Oh, that's just how to play. No, I don't want that. I guess I'll read it. Introduction to the Logic Database. Computer technology is the backbone of modern police work. The Logic Database is one of the many continuing efforts to digitize our workflow and preserve evidence in a manner which will allow you to work more efficiently. In the coming years, the computer will continue to be the most valued item in your crime-fighting toolkit. This database contains footage transcribed from the existing homicide and serious crime tape active at Portsmouth. It has been automatically stored using our ASR technology. Each statement made by the interview participants is stored separately so they can be taken for submission to court. The audio has been digitally stenographed. The content of the testimony is attached to each clump. To retrieve the clump, type in a word, e.g. robbery, into the search field. Click search and database will return all clips in which the speaker uses the word. To narrow a search to multiple words, e.g. robbery supermarket. If you're working from a printed transcript, you can be even more precise. Use inverted commas for an exact match against the entire statement. Inverted commas. Store a clip for later reference. Click add a session. Also, if you wish to add additional tags of your own to help future searches, please click in the user tags box and type in your desired tags. What happens if I type in star? I guess that worked.
My name is Hannah. H-A-N-N-A-H. It's a palindrome.
It's a palindrome.
It reads the same backwards as forwards. It doesn't work if you mirror it though. It's not quite symmetrical, but well, I mean, you get the idea. Sorry.
The opposite of Bolton is not lob.
Gladstone Street.
We got our name. Are these just in order now?
A black coffee, thanks. No sugar. Sweet enough as it is.
1917-10. 1917-24. Alright, so when we did star, it did a wildcard search and just returned it in order. Is that cheating? I don't know. It only returned the first 5. You think it's using SQL? I don't think it is.
Simon Smith. He works at Ernst Brothers Glass. They do windows, all kinds of glass. Simon does the more special work, mirror making, feature windows, artistic things, really beautiful things. A mobile phone? Yeah. Well, they have one for the glaziers, but it's only for work. I can't remember the number.
Inverted commas.
It's in the kitchen. I saw it plugged into its charging cradle.
$271 entries found. Oh, I guess you can also do space. Or just nothing. Carl. Simon, Hannah, and Eve. Why are you down here? Removed from session. I think I just picked out the star.
No, I was 15. Carl was older, 17, I think. I was really into him, regardless of how he actually behaved. Lots of drunken teenage sex. We did it in a church once. It's stupid. So he got tired of us and we split up after about 6 months. It was sad, but those early experiences, they help you realise who's really important to you, you know? family.
I want to learn about the mushrooms.
No. The whole thing was wrong. The bags, I think they were from our kitchen. You could probably check that.
Oh, they're onomatopoeias.
We never go into the cellar. It's just a place we put things we don't need. Dad used to grow mushrooms there. The bags were taped up. I think it was parcel tape, but I think it was ours.
When we started the game, the first thing it asked us was murder.
You think it's murder? I mean, clearly it's murder. What can I do to help? Yeah, that's me.
What's this? A bunch of crows? Yes, it's a large group of
That was
crows.
months ago.
What of it?
What's that got to do with Simon's murder?
Simon got murdered. We got a name. Simon was murdered. What's this really read me thing? Hey, here's the database. I filed a Freedom of Information form to get you guest access. Everything seems to work. They transferred the videos off the original tapes in 1999, and then the Y2K thing hit, and they got mothballed. No one has touched them ever since. I couldn't find the server with the detectives' footage on. Presumably those tapes got damaged when the old archives were flooded in 97. I figured this would be enough. Take my time. It's not the real time. Oh my god. Tay. It's military time again. It's everywhere.
I didn't murder Simon. You've got it wrong. You've got the wrong person.
Oh, they think that she murdered Simon.
I'd like to speak to a lawyer now. Please. You have no murder weapon. You have nothing. And all these stories we've been telling each other.
Because that's what innocent people say. They start saying, you don't have a weapon, you don't have evidence, you ain't got nothing on me, copper. She was like smiling while she said that. Paige, don't do this. Don't do that. Don't do this. Don't do this, Paige. You're better than this. You did it at me for like an hour. Is this Morse code? Am I supposed to Morse code that? Am I supposed to Morse code that? I'm gonna Morse code that. Oops, I can't type. If I click off. If I click off, it goes away. I'm assuming this one's dot and this one's dash.
What are you doing talking about Eve?
Someone write this down. Periods and dashes. Dot 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 dash 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 dot 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 dash dash dot 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 dash 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 dot 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 dot. Is that a real thing? Is that a real thing? Morse code decoder. I don't know Morse code. It says Sataha. It's not Morse code. What is it? What's it called when a crow shoves a piece of metal up your pee hole? A catheter. You're welcome. Paired tabs. Trying to think of some of the other ones. I do want it, Tay. I do. Okay. No sleep for 27 hours. Ah! Alright, let's solve this. Okay, so we just gotta count the number. It's like a grid, right? Like 5, 3, like that. Alright, here I go. Can't hit. Sometimes she stops and does this one twice. Three. I can't count that second one. It's like a half tap in there. Is it 4? I think it's 4. Like 3, 4? Is that how this works? So S? Is that how this works? Four, 5. Why? This seems wrong. This seems wrong. I'm just getting random letters. I got SYW. I don't understand this. I assume it would have been like left one hand, the other down the right hand. But then she just does the right hand sometimes, and it's just the left hand sometimes.
What are you doing talking about Eve?
Is it the pause? So 3 then 1. So C.
What are you doing talking about Eve?
3. 3, 4. S? I'm just getting random letters again. And that's like, there's like a weird pause there. 5, 1. E. These are just random letters. CSE. I have no idea. I'm done with that. How do you solve it? I want to know how to solve it first.
What are you doing talking about Eve?
Yeah, I figured it's pairs, but like I don't know where the split is. If it's in the pause, then we got random. Which what we did last time. We just got random letters.
What are you doing talking about Eve?
If it's in the hand, it doesn't make sense because she just goes back and forth randomly. Sometimes she does more than 5 on one hand. Like that's 9 right there.
What are you doing talking about Eve?
I got 10 pauses. See, Paige, that's what we were doing before, and it gave us random letters. So, like, watch. This is what we did before. I wish I could pause. There's no pause. There's only stop. Like, watch.
What are you doing talking about Eve?
We were ignoring the hands last time. That's what we were doing last time. I'll do it again. Watch. 3, 1. Which is... I closed it. It was like a C. Yeah, so 3, 1, which is C.
What are you doing
I got CSE when I started doing that, and I stopped because I'm like, this doesn't make a word.
about Eve?
3, 1. I guess here, someone write down the number. I'm just going to say the numbers out loud and write them down in pairs. Because going back and forth and scrubbing is frustrating.
What are you doing talking about Eve?
3, 1, 1, 2, 3. Oh God. 3, 4. So 3, 1. Is it 3, 1, 3? I wish I could pause. 3, 1, 3, 4. 5. So wait, was that one? That was 5. 1, 1, 5, 3, 4. I'm sorry, that was 4, not 3. 5. Sorry, that was really hard because I kept going back and forth. I wish I could just let me grab. Okay, I have a marker. I'm gonna fucking write it down myself. How did you get it? Let me double check that. Thank you, LaCroix. 3, 1, 3, 4, 5, 1, 1, 5, 4, 5. Okay, yeah, so that's correct. Thank you, LaCroix. I'm surprised you're able with all my repeating of numbers randomly. Alright, so 3, 1 is C. 3, 4 is S. Yeah, that's what he did before. 5, 1 is E. That's what we got before and I stopped. So I'm like, that's not real. 3, 1 should be L. 3, 1 is C. L. 1, 3 is L. We'll try this way first and we'll do that way. 5, 1 is E. 1, 5 is V. 4, 5 is Y. That one doesn't make sense. Let's do the other way. 3, 1 is L, which is, that's who would do it that way. That's just not math. 3, 4 is O. 5, 1 is V. 4, 5 is Y. No, 4, 5 U. 4, 5 is U. Lavu? The fuck is Lavu? Did I miss a letter? I did. 3, 1. It's so weird to go down right. Like my brain is stopping me. 3, 1, 3, 4, 5, 1, 1, 5. Oh, it's love you. Well, that fucking explains nothing to me. I was hoping it was gonna be like, I killed him. Dumb. Thank you, everyone.
Yes, my name is Hannah Smith. Oh, shit. Sorry.
What?
Yes, my name is Hannah Smith. Oh, shit. Sorry.
Why is she apologizing? Why is she not a lie detector? Search it? Yeah, pop up anything. Because no one said that out loud.
Across the road, where my parents first lived there, was a midwife called Florence. When Hannah was born, I was born at the same time. The midwife was there to help. I'd been throttled by the cord, probably wrapped around my neck by Hannah. The midwife told my mother I was dead. But I wasn't. She wrote all this stuff in a diary. Amazing what people will admit to on paper.
Miss screens get darker? Did you see that?
She recognized me from the window.
From the window, from the wall.
And she hid me.
From the sweat drop.
They had
on my
made the
midwife.
attic into a place where Hannah could play. It was a dollhouse. She hid me up there.
What?
No one else ever went into the attic. It was her place.
Weird shit happens on the computer? I mean, weird shit happens in the computer. Is this game gonna change my fucking background again? We played that one game that changed my background, and I hated that. Because I didn't have my fucking background saved, and I couldn't find it again, and it just changed my background. Thanks. I lost my old background forever. Is it? Okay, good. I don't like games that change things outside. Like, I get it. It's a gimmick. It's kind of cool the first time. But after the first time, it's just annoying. Don't touch my files. Don't touch my background. Okay, so we're looking for... Love You?
Cute. You must love them very much. What ages are they? You want me to play something? I'm not the world's greatest guitar player. Okay. Probably needs tuning. No. It's okay. How about a traditional ballad? Should be right up your street.
Ballad?
There were two sisters came walking by the sea. Oh, the wind and the rain. The eldest
I didn't expect singing in this game.
Oh, the dreadful wind and rain. See, they both had a love for the captain's son. Oh, the wind and the rain. But he only cared for the youngest one. All the dreadful oh, the eldest envied her sister fair. Oh, the wind and the rain, with a pretty little face and her long blonde hair. Oh, the dreadful wind and rain. So she pushed her in and held her down. Oh, the wind and the rain watched her as she slowly drowned. Oh, the dreadful wind and rain. Oh, she floated up and she floated down. Oh, the wind and the rain floated till a ship came by. Oh, the dreadful wind and rain. Out comes the captain's son. Oh, the wind and the rain. Father dear, here swims and swan. Oh, the dreadful wind and rain. And then it gets really weird, so I think that's a good place to stop.
It gets weird. Murder Ballad. Murder Ballad. What's the goal? Like, once I figure out what the answer is, do I have to like type it in somewhere?
So, it was Friday evening. We had an argument. He left. On Saturday, he didn't come back. I waited all day. He was supposed to go help Eric out with something on the Saturday afternoon. They had a job. He didn't show. So Eric was ringing on the phone. I checked at the Rock, that's our local. They said they'd seen him on the Friday night, but not since. He still wasn't back this morning. It just isn't like him at all. Still not back by dinner time. It's getting dark again. So I decided to come and see you. His parents haven't heard anything either. Sure? Yes, of course, if that would help. Will you phone the house to let me know when you want to come round? Then I can make sure that I'm there. No, he doesn't keep a diary. That's my thing. I've kept one, well, as long as I can remember, since I was a girl. It helps make sense of my day. And when you're forced to put something into words, it just gives you perspective. Everyone's on the same page.
Everyone's on the same page. Paige is the killer.
10 years, stuff accumulates. You could argue about anything. And he's so nice. That doesn't help. He tries to smooth things over, and that just makes it worse. We're both passive aggressive, so we never normally argue directly about anything. Coffee, I guess. Milk and sugar.
Wow, no cow, no.
I got to Glasgow. I was exhausted, so I pulled over and slept in the car. I woke up because a rubbish truck went past. I got some petrol, bought a coffee and a pastry, tried calling someone from a payphone, and then headed back. About 8 years back. It was a present to myself.
They look really similar, and I don't like it.
It's been hard trying to give it up.
Is it the same person with two personalities? And one of them killed them, and the other one didn't? And this is actually the same person? Funny joke? Did I solve it? I mean, this looks like the same. This looks like the same person. I need names. What's your name?
My name is Hannah.
Hannah.
Hannah. It's palindrome.
It is.
It reads the same back. I would have been a good mother. I was young, but I would have been a good mother. She was a girl, by the way.
Girl.
A baby. We were going to call her Sarah. Simon wanted to call her Ava after his nana, but I didn't want her to have a symmetrical name.
She hates palindromes. She loves palindromes. She is a palindrome, but she hates it. She hates the palindrome. The Gollum thing there, because Gollum does that whole two-personality thing.
Okay, you got me. I'll confess. We were there. It was a dirty weekend. Simon was going to expense it, pretend it was a business trip. I used a made-up name. We stayed at the hotel, had room service, didn't leave the room, had a great view of the river, and you could hear the church bells. Like you said, it was very romantic. My name. That was the only question I failed. Your lie detector works. Yes, my name is Hannah Smith. Oh, shit. Sorry.
Who is she? Yeah, I could look up Eve, I guess. They did just say Eve. That one person tapped out Eve. This person.
What are you doing talking about Eve? Well, my friend Eve. I mean, she was a friend from when I was a kid. And she was always more popular with the boys, and I used to hate her for it. I mean, really hate her sometimes.
Are they twins?
Yes. We'd fight. We fought on the beach once, and I held Eve's head underwater. There was no one else around. It was at the far end of the beach, and I held her head under, and I kept it under. And for a
Under
moment,
pressure.
I just wanted to kill her and watch her drown. But that was it. It was just a moment. We made up afterwards. It was a love-hate relationship. A police station. Yeah. When I was young, we ran away on my birthday. Bob Dylan was playing in London, and we thought we could break into his tour bus and have him take us with him. The taxi driver we paid to drop us off, I mean, we'd saved money, pinched a bit here and there to pay for the fare. He was suspicious because we were so young, so he told the police. So they came and picked us up and took me back to Portsmouth. My mum picked me up from the station. But I blamed everything on my friend Eve, so my parents let me off. My mother called me Eve.
Why are they the same person? What's the mushroom thing?
I was living in the attic. It was a very hard time. I was depressed, was still pretty sick of the STD. And I came down one morning and they were dead. They were in bed and both had been sick. They'd thrown up a lot. And I'd slept through it. police said it was mushrooms they ate. Dad was a mushroom expert. I mean, he used to take us picking with him and he taught us how to recognise them. There's no way he would have picked death caps. But the police believe that's what happened. They never even looked in the attic.
What is this attic thing? Why does the computer flicker?
Yes. I inherited it from my parents, so it made sense to move back. Me and Simon. Felt like going back to old ways before the pregnancy. Reminded me of being a girl, a dollhouse in the attic, old things. We didn't sleep in my parents' bedroom for a long time.
Great.
We decorated it as soon as we moved in, but it was another year before we started sleeping there. Yes, I read a lot as a child and watched lots of TV. Then the doll's house we had, we still have in the attic. It's kind of a fairy castle. We used to play up there and make up our own stories. Could the hairs have come from somewhere else? I mean, could they... We have a lot of dolls in the attic. There's a Rapunzel doll with long blonde hair. Could they have come from there?
Blonde.
Could the hairs have come from somewhere else? Dick.
Blonde hair. Keep that in mind.
I'm not sure where the dollhouse came from.
Dollhouse.
I don't know if it was given to them or they inherited it. I mean, they wouldn't have had the money to buy it. It was so huge. It must have been taken up to the attic in parts and then reassembled up there. It's a beautiful thing. Wallpaper to scale, little furniture, the lights work, mirrors, beds, big duvets and pillows. We spent hours and hours playing in it, invented all these characters and families who lived there. We wrote paperwork for them all, passports, diaries, and gave them all really elaborate stories. Once, a moth got trapped in there. We'd left a light on. It was making the most horrendous noise. We tried to kill it, but it was tough. We ended up crushing it under a copy of the Arabian Nights.
Why? Don't mess with moths. They're harmless. They do flop around.
I think he spoke to Helen.
Helen.
She said he was upset about her argument, but I'm not sure what else he said. He likes Helen. He likes blondes.
Helen is blonde. Helen is blonde. Helen is blonde. How do I save the search terms?
This other person doesn't exist. I don't know.
Oops.
This other person doesn't exist. I don't know what the blonde wig is, but it could be anything. Have you looked at the cat flap?
Cat. Cat flap?
This other person doesn't exist. Have you looked?
Blonde wig.
Have you looked at the cat flap?
Blonde wig. Cat flap. Dollhouse. I have so many terms I want to search.
The legal stuff was completed very quickly. Hannah moved back in with Simon. Eric gave Simon the week off to help with the move. He decorated, modernised wallpaper curtains. Hannah insists the attic be left as it was, dollhouse and all.
So a dollhouse.
Simon never went up there.
Cat. cat.
No, they were shut. Most of the windows were really hard to open anyway. They're stifling in summer. They were painted over by my dad. Could have left a door open accidentally. Or there's a cat flap in the back door. No, no cat. My parents had a cat before they died called Domino.
Domino!
It's this little black thing with white dots. And we never did anything about the cat flap, but if you were thin, you could maybe squeeze through it.
Cat flap.
When we weren't together, we would send secret messages by tapping out a code that we'd learned from a book. The knock code.
Knock code.
Something prisoners of war would
I guess we could have
use.
figured that out now.
We tap them out on radiator pipes or the attic floor.
Don't do it again.
Dad thought we had mice.
Okay. I'll count.
Floor.
1, 2, 5, 4. Oh my god, I hate that I can't pause. Why is there no pause button in a game that's all about watching videos? Okay, it's definitely 1, 2. 5, 4, 1, 4, 2, 3, 1, 1, 3, 3. Three. How many threes are there? Oh my god. Alright, I'll just let it play. Like fucking 10 threes in a row.
Dad thought we had mice.
Settings enable click lock. Oh, what? Okay, if you hit escape and then you hit escape again, instead of closing the menu, it closes the game. Where's the settings? This game has no settings. Where are the settings? These are settings? I don't see click lock. Alright, I'm gonna double check what LaCroix did. Yep, what LaCroix did was right. Damn it, LaCroix, why are you so good at that? Why are you so good at that? Okay. 1, 2 is B. 5, 4 is Y, unless they're doing it the other way. 1, 4 is D. 2, 3 is H. 1, 1 is A. 3, 3 is N. 3, 3 is N. A. N. That's what? Is it the other way this time? Did I miss the D? By hand it makes sense, but that's not the letters. That's not the numbers. This one's just fucked up a little. Ah. Let's just buy Hannah then. She messed up. No one checked this?
We loved our cat, Domino. He had this little bell around his neck to stop him from killing birds in the garden. And we used to write each other notes and put them in the bell, and we could send them to each other. Mum found some of the notes once, and she thought I was just writing to myself because our handwriting was identical. And we had our own words for things, so she didn't quite understand them anyway.
What?
We loved our cat, Domino. He had this little bell around his neck to stop him from killing birds in the garden. And we used to write each other notes and put them in the bell, and we could send them to each other. Mum found some of the notes once, and she thought I was just writing to myself because our handwriting was identical. And we had our own words for things, so she didn't quite understand them anyway.
It's the same person. Was it Helen? That's not a palindrome.
It's the Rockington Arms, the Rock.
Rockington
It's run by a nice
Arms.
couple, Peter and Susan. There's some other regulars there that Simon likes to drink with.
Simon? It's got so many names.
Sometimes Helen. He
Barmaid.
said Simon had been in and had a few drinks.
Was it Helen? Was that one of the names? I'm gonna say The Rock.
Oh God, I don't know. I mean, I guess the Rock. You've spoken to everyone there.
Is that at the bar?
Someone must have seen where he went. I don't know. So many things could have gone wrong.
Not a lot of information about
No.
Helen.
No one has been in the last few weeks. We had a plumber come in 3-4 weeks ago. Someone Simon knew from the Rock.
Plumber. What about wig?
A wig? You mean... what type of wig?
Is she pretending to be Helen with a wig? Is Eve wearing a
No.
wig?
I've never worn a wig. What kind of wig? No. The parents decided there would be a wedding.
Are there 3 people?
After the wedding, Hannah
Did she have
moved to
3
Leeds
people?
house. There was no way I could follow. So we were separated again. I stayed in the attic. It was hard. It's like I suddenly didn't exist. I would sneak out, but in case anyone recognized me, I started wearing a wig. Hannah and I would meet up in the park. I was trying to get pregnant. But I couldn't. I mean, I couldn't do it with anyone we knew, so it was sex with strangers. Drunk guys I'd met in clubs, in parks and alleyways. I was 17. It felt like I was being punished. But it was Hannah who had betrayed us.
But she's also Hannah.
I had to stop when one of the guys gave me an STD. When we met up, it was disturbing. For the first time, my reflection, she didn't look like me. She was fatter, flushed. If anything, I was getting skinnier. I found it hard to look sometimes. We talked about what to do. Was it time to become our own people? And that seemed like the right thing to do, but neither of us wanted it. We agreed that her and Simon would get their own place as soon as possible, and then I could move in. And that was the plan.
I'm so confused. Same person. Husband.
I haven't been into work. I guess I've just been waiting to hear from you, hear from my husband. When you suspect someone of murdering their husband.
I'm thinking the timestamps, because they're all on different days, might be like the different people.
She's crying, I guess. She's sad because she thought she saw her husband with another woman. But it's okay, because she finds out it wasn't her husband, it was his brother. And so it's fine.
Brother? Sure.
That made me sound suspicious. It's not a normal thing to do, to drive to the other end of the country. I wanted to keep it simple. I know it was stupid not to tell you everything. Saying I spent the night in Glasgow when my husband went missing, I thought it would, distract you from what was important.
Why basement?
It's different now.
When did we hear basement?
It was supposed to be a secret. Just because Simon is dead doesn't mean I have to give up all his secrets. It doesn't have anything to do with what happened to Simon. No one murdered my husband because he cheated his expenses for a romantic weekend in Oxford.
Oxford? Oxford.
There was a conference, something to do with double glazing, in Oxford. Are you sure? What would he be doing in Oxford if there was no conference? I remember calling him. He said it was boring and he spent most of the time at the bar.
Nothing pops up when I search basement. I forget. There's so many things I wanted to search, but I did not write them down. Research cat, right? The fuck is a cat? We did. We just searched husband. We watched all of them. We did search Helen. That's okay. I said upside down commas. Does it mean single quotes? It showed double quotes.
Okay.
I think you just ignored them.
I've given blood before. Do you need to take that for your records?
Blood! It looked for the word okay.
From when I woke up. Okay. I woke up. Simon was already up, and he made me birthday breakfast of eggs Benedict.
Birthday.
We both had to go to work, so we saved presents till later. I got to work, had some birthday cake.
Blood birthday.
Children sang me happy birthday.
Blood birthday!
The birthday meal was a takeaway.
Takeaway.
And Simon gave me his present, which I didn't mind.
Present.
And after that, we talked about the baby. Turned into a big argument. Simon left.
Baby.
I was furious. I wanted to get as far away as I could.
Search baby.
And get some space to think.
I searched Pregante.
So I left. I hoover, I dust every week. Maybe less. I once asked Eleanor how often I should dust.
Eleanor!
She said, if people ask, tell them you do it once a week. But every few weeks is okay. I think she was just trying to make me feel better. I mean, when I was there, she was hoovering every day. You know, ran an ordered house.
Hoovering.
You know how that generation is, putting on a brave front. She has secret stashes of cigarettes. Doug doesn't even know she smokes. When I was there, I saw her. She has these sort of porcelain vases.
So many words I want to search right
next
now.
to the Reader's Digest books. Cigarettes inside.
Cigarette.
And she still has them. I mean, last time I was there, I looked in a vase. There was a fresh pack. I mean, all those years of marriage, and she still has a secret like that.
Dog. Blood.
Nothing like this has ever happened to me before. The blood. It's probably the worst thing that's ever happened to me. Well, fine, considering. I got back into the house today, and that was weird, knowing your people have been there through my things. It's like I've been burgled. I mean, worse, obviously. I don't know. I haven't looked in the cellar yet. They sent a cleaner in, as good as new.
There's nothing in that cup, and they're not even pretending.
But they had to throw
You
some
can hear it
stuff
go
out.
of an open plastic cup being scrubbed with a stir stick.
And I'm still waiting to hear from the coroner so we can get a date set for the funeral. It's going to be a cremation. So,
Guess I'll take a sip of this.
like I said before, it was 3, something like that. I walked in, saw Simon. He was on the floor of the living room. throat had been cut.
Whoa, I thought there was a poisoning. There's so many murders.
There's a lot of blood.
There's so many murders. Hell yeah, I don't. My least favorite, it was when they have a cup that's full of ice. They have a cup that's full of ice, and you know it's fake ice. You know it's fake ice, because there's zero condensation on the cup. It's just like perfectly, it's like as clear as fucking this, and there's just ice floating in it. Zero anything, it's just perfectly clear. Get your fake ice out of here.
She was sat behind him. She had my wig on. And she'd been there all day. And she had blood on her. And she was in shock.
Who was it?
She was sat behind him. She had my wig on. And she'd been there all day.
There's something in that one. Is that a wig on?
She had blood on her all day. She had my wig on. And she'd been there all day. And she had blood on her. Yes, that's my birthday. Not one of the big ones, but I guess you can see that. It was my birthday, like you said. We were going to have a meal at home. We had our meal. He gave me his present. I guess I didn't like the present. It was my birthday, like you said. We were going to have a meal at home. We had our meal. He gave me his present. I guess I didn't like the present.
I guess I didn't like the present. The other person, who's the same person. Ah! It's totally different people.
No.
In their head.
Well, yes.
It's all the same
I
person.
found out on my birthday.
Is the twist that no one is a different person? Are you Simon? I am Doug. I am Doug.
A week or so ago. It would have been the Saturday before my birthday. You know, I get like that on the weekends.
She's
Lie
everyone.
in, then want to get up and blitz the house.
Blitz the house. Blitz.
It wasn't the present so much. It was one of those arguments that had
There's a
been
bruise on her
simmering
face.
for a while.
Think.
The present was a mirror. A nice mirror. He'd engraved the glass, the kind of mirror a princess would have in a story. He made it specially for me.
Bellies. Betrays.
Her story is that she'd waited for him to come back. She put on my wig, some of my clothes, pretended to be me. They talked. She'd enjoyed being me. He said he wanted to be with me. Then he took out a present, another mirror, just like the one he'd given her earlier. That unique present. She went crazy.
See, the same person was just a whole bunch of identical
they
twins.
argued, screamed. He hit her.
Just a bunch of identical twins.
So she grabbed a piece of the mirror and just swung it round. She cut his throat clean open.
Whoa!
She'd only meant to scare him off.
Okay, so my window is to the left, and to the right is nothing. So I heard sirens in my right ear, which means it wasn't real cops that was in the game. We figured out the killer. It was her.
The that she'd waited for him to come.
Clone murders. Clones! The cop car is between me and this giant Murphy bed here. It's like arms reach away. Somewhere there's a tiny cop. Are you under my shoe? Hey. Static.
Okay. I parked up on the street. It was busy, so I parked down the end of the road. I walked up to the house. I knocked on the door. No answer. I took my keys out of my bag, unlocked the door. The main lock was unlocked. I could tell because the key wouldn't turn when I tried to turn it to the left. I walked in. Simon's coat wasn't on the peg. I couldn't see his shoes on the shoe rack. I shouted out for him. I walked straight into the kitchen. He usually sits in there to have a cup of tea and read his paper. He wasn't there. I touched the kettle. It was cold. I looked quickly into the living room. Nothing. I walked upstairs to the bedroom. He wasn't there. I didn't search for him because it was pretty clear he wasn't there. Then I had a shower. Whilst I was in the shower, the phone rang. I think it was Eric, his boss. I didn't answer it. Then I came out and I was just exhausted. So I lay down on the bed and I fell asleep, but I didn't mean to. I woke up a couple of hours later and I was surprised to see no one in the bed next to me. And then I remembered where I was and what had happened. That's when Eric called again. I spoke to him. Then I called Simon's parents. And then I decided to come and see you. That enough?
Eric?
Yes.
Eleanor!
Share a Cavalier and a van he uses for work. It's owned by Eric, but we look after it.
It's just his boss,
Both
I
of them are
think.
there now, parked on the street. I'm not sure about the keys for the van. I can look for you when I get back. Yes, that would be in his wallet. It's a Visa, a silver one. He doesn't like to spend money he doesn't have, so he usually pays with cash, but Eric convinced him to get one. Eric was like an uncle to him. They were pretty close. They spend a lot of time with each other, especially when they have to go to conferences. Have you met his wife, Diane?
None of you spelled Eleanor right. Multiple times. I watched. You guys tried multiple spellings. No one got it.
Yeah. I've been married to Doug and Eleanor's and they're very worried. I feel sorry for them.
It's Eleanor.
1984
1984.
was an awful year in the end. We were living at Doug and Eleanor's. I lost the baby at the end of spring and my parents died in the summer. It was a hot summer, a heat wave. So when they discovered the bodies, it was just awful. Because of the circumstances, them dying together like that, they brought in a lot of police. A forensic entomologist. I had to look that up. It was because of the heat. It's just awful. I speak with Eleanor at least once a day. Not that there's anything much to say. It's more just...
Did she actually spill something?
I speak with Eleanor at least once a day. Not that there's anything much to say. It's more just...
Oh yeah, there was stuff in the cup. There was stuff in the cup. Stuff in the cup.
No, he doesn't have any tattoos. He has a scar down here near his stomach, past his hip. Cut himself with some glass.
Past his hip.
That was before, a long time ago.
Near his stomach, past his hip.
Like the photo.
His leg?
He's not got his
Once you go
glasses
past the
on,
hip, you're in thigh
takes them
territory.
off with the camera. But he needs
Stomach's
them
above
to see
hip.
properly, you know. He has to read a newspaper or a menu in a restaurant. Not book so much, or watching TV. He likes TV. Oh, my tattoo. I got it to express my individuality. It's an apple and a snake.
Is an apple and a snake?
So I moved out. Got a small bed sit.
Past the hip
Got my
upwards.
tattoo to mark the occasion. I was singing in a bar in the evenings, so I had some money, enough money to cover my rent. And I've been doing something similar ever since. I haven't put down any roots. I don't exist. He saw me singing one of my shows. Pure chance.
Singing.
Not sure I remember what he was even doing there. Afterwards, I had a drink at the bar and he came over and we got talking. I knew who he was. Obviously I knew who he was. But he didn't know who I was. He was fascinated by the likeness. He guessed my name from my tattoo. Told me it was a palindrome, like that would impress me. I enjoyed talking to him. It was amazing to be able to sit and interact and talk to him after all this time. He didn't tell me he was married. I'm not sure what he was thinking. He later told me it was like he was dreaming. A waking dream.
No. Another song.
Really? Here's the rest.
Oh gosh, the rest.
Laid a body on the doctor. Oh, the wind and the rain. Till a fiddler with a fiddle came walking by. Oh, the dreadful wind and rain.
Water.
And he made a fiddle bow of her long hair. Oh, the wind and the rain. Yes, he made a fiddle bow of her long blonde hair. Oh, the dreadful wind
Blonde hair.
and he made fiddle pegs of her finger bows. Oh, the wind and the rain. Yes, he made fiddle pegs from her finger bows.
The fuck is a fiddle peg?
Wind and rain. And he made a fiddle out of her breastbone. Oh, the wind and rain. The sound could pierce a heart of stone. Oh, the dreadful wind and rain. But the only tune memory. Yes, the only tune that the field could play was all the dreadful wind and
Horror game with a painter guy? Oh, what is that called? Did we play through that on stream? No, we did not. What's that game called?
anything you sing may be used as evidence against you.
It's just a song. That's intense. Bone music. Woozy. Well, that's weird.
It's like I told you before, I drove. I took the car and drove. I don't have my own car, but I have a spare set of keys. I just drove north. I wanted to think, put some space between me and them. Everything I told you before is true. I stopped at Glasgow. I was tired, exhausted. I pulled out and I hit a car. My car was okay, but I was worried about the baby, so I went to A&E.
E! That's funny because the next thing I was going to search was
I
A.
tried to call Hannah from a payphone. She wasn't answering. And then I decided to drive back. I had decided that she was more important to me than Simon.
Damn it. Eve, Apple, A. I. O. Oh!
Yes. He left after the argument. It
Playing
was about
Wheel of Fortune over here.
8 o'clock.
Buy a vowel. Oh, o'clock. You. Oh!
What about us?
It's kind of grabbing at straws now. That was weird. What about us? Us! She said
We
us!
couldn't afford our own place. Simon dropped out of school, went full-time with the Glaziers. That was Eric's generosity. We moved in with his mum and dad. They had a spare room for us and the baby. And it came. It was a nice change. Time to myself, living there for those months, full of hope. I mean, not really. He would go to the pub. He had his drinking buddies there, but no one ever really came back to the house. Sometimes Eric, his boss, and his wife would come over for dinner. That would be us returning the favour. Diana's a really good
I thought we
cook,
searched love before.
into her trendy ingredients. And the last time Simon cooked something off MasterChef, he got the recipe off CFAX, and I did my Lloyd Grossman bit, commenting from the sidelines. I had to find fennel from the supermarket. Have you ever eaten fennel?
This extraordinarily bright light shining over there. Why so bright? Oh, it's construction lights, that's why. Childhood.
Thanks.
We'll do childhood next.
Please find Simon.
Let's go to Florida. Florida!
I love him so much.
Please find Simon. This is before you died, I guess?
No. I mean, he was... Everyone loves Simon. He was so nice to everyone.
There's a dollhouse up there.
He loves me. Childhood sweethearts. Something like that. Are you married, detective?
Detective? We could just search detective, see if anything pops up.
If one of
about
us
the
got
person.
hurt, the other one would have to be hurt too. A grazed knee, a bruise. When I lost my
Hagrid.
teeth first,
Stop it.
we had to pull our harness to match. Once,
He
I
stopped.
sat with a boy who was seeing another girl. The girlfriend came up to Hannah the next day,
Sharp
punched her in the
edges.
face, gave her a huge black eye. That night, she had to do the same to me. And she almost went too far. I couldn't see out of that eye for days. She snuck frozen peas up for me from the kitchen. So much of our bodies was synchronized anyway. We started our period on the same day. All our childhood diseases, stomach bugs, nits.
How's this thing looking? So much green. Teeth. Excuse? How's it going down there? You done? Nah. Buzz up. It only lets me type certain words. I can type Y. Once I type Y, I can only type yes. Type N, I can type no. Nope. I guess nah was like one of the 4 words I could type. I can't believe it. I'm so predictable. No. Who's SB?
No, it's okay. The other detective has just gone to get me one.
Other detective.
Must think it's very cool that their dad is a police detective.
Dad.
Yeah, when I was at school. I worked part-time in the front shop. It was sort of an extended family thing. My dad used to work there, my mum worked there before I was born. I took care of paperwork, filing, typing out invoices, that kind of thing. It was a good job for a girl back then. I didn't work a till or anything though. I was quite shy, so I wouldn't have liked to have worked a till.
Nah. SB.
Yes, there's an Amstrad one.
Amstrad.
No one uses it for very much. There's a printer so you can write letters on it.
Nah, good.
Simon sometimes plays games, you know, and Save the Princess.
School and family.
That kind of thing.
Or other family titties. Don't say that in my stream.
Simon isn't the type
Drive.
to
Oh,
run
yeah,
off
drive. That's the whole
and
driving
do
thing.
anything crazy. Someone must have done something.
Why Rapunzel?
There must have been some kind of accident. So what do we do next? It's Rapunzel. The story starts when she's born. Mother Gothel, a witch, takes Rapunzel from her parents and keeps her locked up in this tower. Rapunzel gets pregnant by the prince, and Mother Gothel is furious, so she cuts off her hair and throws it. Actually, her hair's already short here, so that's already happened. So she throws her into the wilderness, and Rapunzel is reunited with the prince, who's blind, but she kills him with her tears, and so it's a happy ending. Is that too much?
What are these pictures that they're showing her?
Sorry. The picture, the way it's drawn, just reminded me of the books we used to read as children. I read those fairy tales over and over, and they were so real to me. Rapunzel was my favourite. My brain is just full of it. Are any of these in colour? Did I pass? Sorry, I messed it up with all that Rapunzel stuff. Do you need me to do that card again?
Card.
We were obsessed with fairy tales. Not just the pretty ones, but the traditional ones. They were dark and real, bizarre and violent. Felt like life. We had this huge old book
Test
that
may
I
be
think
good.
Mum must have bought from a library sale.
I was thinking
The
test or card.
illustrations had thin tracing paper over them to protect them. They were in colour, shiny plates. At the front of the book was an index of illustrations. We read that more than the actual stories. We'd read aloud the captions and flick between the pictures. There was something intimate about peeling back the tracing paper, undressing the pictures. Rapunzel's hair is cut. The eagle plucks out his heart. The princess pricks her finger.
Pricks her finger.
Yes, I'll take a lie detector test.
Oh, it's the lie detector one.
I've never taken a lie detector test before. Does it really work? Difference is, she's a better driver than me. She passed the test for us. I tried to take it and nearly crashed the car. Learned that you can't rely on confidence to get you through everything. She is the shy one. She was especially shy around boys. If Hannah liked a boy, I would have to pursue him. It was that way with Carl. Hannah met him first. She had such a crush. I let him take my virginity after a night that his band had played at. It got difficult. When I was with Carl, we would have sex, but Hannah couldn't let him see she was a virgin. She had lots of excuses. After a while, we decided that I should take Hannah's virginity. It's not that different to a bruise, pulling a tooth, a graze. We used a hairbrush. After that, we took it in turns, though I was always the one who seduced the boys. Until Simon. Like I said, I think I was popping out to get something, ran out of something, had to grab something. I sometimes drive too fast. If you want, you can arrest me for that.
Wait, chit chat. Levin has this mirror game thing.
The mirror. I can't remember. I put it somewhere safe. Upstairs, I think. Haven't looked at it since. Silverleaf? No. He normally solves them properly. This mirror, it's supposed to look antique.
That's the mirror.
The reflection isn't as good. It's the perfect mirror for someone who doesn't like to look at their own reflection.
That was weird.
Florence raised me in her home. I never left it. She kept me out of sight.
Florence.
It wasn't odd for people to see a midwife with a baby, carrying in supplies, washing nappies, that sort of thing. I never knew any different. I grew up looking out of my window.
What's in
seeing
DNS
her
cache?
across the road. I thought it was like a reflection in the mirror. She was me. I wanted to see my reflection. I thought that if I touched her, something would happen. We would become one. One girl. The fairy tale was over, the witch was dead, and I'd be restored to my rightful place. Yes. The first time we saw each other, it was strange. We both realised at the same moment, I think. We must have seen each other before, but there was this instant when we first realised it wasn't a reflection. The reflection was staring back. I think I was 5. It was my birthday. My reflection was wearing a party hat and waving. I knew what party hats were from books. And it suddenly occurred to me, today must be my birthday. I waved back and we just spent ages waving at each other and copying each other's movements. Florence took me home with her. Mother hadn't been expecting twins and had a healthy baby. I guess she was just happy for Florence to clean up. Take away the evidence that this was anything but a happy occasion. No, it was just me and her. It was the name they were going to call their first child. They talked about it and were going to try when he came back. Florence's family had a history of firstborn girls, so they were convinced it was going to be a girl. It's hard to know if this is all true. These are stories I remember, that I read when I was a child. Maybe I misread, maybe I misunderstood. Sometimes it's hard to remember what happened last week. Okay, I'll try my best to remember.
Some of these are dumb.
Let me see. Yes. I drove in here because I remember well I went over the river. And then there was a church. There. Yeah. And I probably parked. Well, I remember seeing a street sign called Princess Street. There it is. Yeah, so I'm pretty sure it must be this one. There. They'd gone to bed feeling ill, thinking it was flu or something. The neighbour called me, I had to use my key to let them in. We found them dead in their bed. And they'd been there for days. No one had noticed. Just awful. It was so soon after my miscarriage. The worst year of my life. I'd been so happy to get married, and after that it was just like, fuck. It's all that matters, really, the baby. Simon's dead, but the baby, that's how he will live on. Our baby. You're reaching here. Oh, I don't know why. No, I've never cheated on anyone. I've never taken anything from anyone. Simon is dead. But I have my baby to care for. Why are you trying to make me sad? Why are you so obsessed with sex and affairs? You cheated on your wife. Is this your thing? Rehearsed? You ask me the same question, you'll get the same answer. Is that your evidence? Of course I thought about what happened then. It's all I've thought about. My husband is dead.
I did baby before. I think we looked at baby. Well, I definitely typed in or at least I said baby like 5 times.
We spent the wedding night in a hotel in Brighton.
There's too many search terms. I can't keep track of them.
We were saving for the baby. It was wonderful to be in a hotel, away from home, just alone together. Since then, we've always tried to get away for our holiday.
We got an achievement.
No. I lost the baby. I had a miscarriage at 8 months. We carried on living at Simon's parents until, well, it was only a few months after. It was after dinner. I'd spoken to Simon's parents on the phone. I looked up for an early night and I suddenly had this thought. I think it was something his mum had said. She'd been speaking about old stuff, sad stuff, about when we lived there. about the baby. There's some boxes in the cellar, nursery stuff.
Cellar.
Stuff we never needed and I never had the heart to throw out.
Cellar.
I suddenly remembered that when I'd looked down there the week before, those boxes, that pile was in the wrong place. I went cold all over. I went down there with a torch and went straight to the back, and that's when I saw the bin bags. Pulled them open, saw the body. I screamed, and that's when I called the police. Yes. It was a shock to him. I mean, we never thought it was possible. I don't know what he... I mean, I hadn't decided whether to keep the baby. I wasn't really ready to talk to him about it. It happened very quickly. We hardly had
This
to talk to each
person
other.
tells
We
us
agreed
everything.
almost silently.
I feel like it's confusing, and then we get to this
Babies
person,
are
and this
massive.
person just like lays it
We'd
out.
help each other. We cleaned up. We bagged up the broken mirror, her clothes. They're gone. We took him down to the cellar. We knew we had an alibi, and we wanted the body to be found later. We wanted to have suspicion on us, so we could then disprove it, rather than have it linger. Better to keep the body in the house than risk being seen with it. The watch, that was my touch, to make sure the alibi stuck. Yeah, that's Simon's watch. It was a gift from Eric. He got it this year. It was a wedding anniversary gift. Steel. It would have been Diane who chose it. She has really nice taste.
Diane.
That time, it must eliminate me. I was in Glasgow then. I got in the car and I drove. And just kept driving north. Just kept going, just wanted to get as far away as I could. When I finally stopped, I was all the way up in Glasgow. I was so tired. I just had to sleep. No, I don't think so. Glasgow was deserted that early in the morning. Then my parents died. It was the worst year of my life. A miscarriage and then my parents.
Probably gonna end stream soon.
Hannah had a miscarriage. This was late in the pregnancy and it left her infertile. Felt like the universe had corrected its course. We were aligned again.
I don't think we're almost done.
But Hannah and Simon were still living with his parents. They were married. Simon had a job at the Glaziers now. Eric had given him a full-time position after he left school. And then... yeah. I mean, I was infertile. Thought I was. They told me I was infertile after the miscarriage because of complications. I think it was that time, the first time at the house, in his bed, that I got pregnant. Amazing, right? This fucking magic sperm. And they say lightning doesn't strike twice. I didn't tell him. I missed 3 periods. I had pretty irregular periods anyway, but 3. I had always thought we were infertile. Both of us. I didn't tell him. Just waited. Hannah and I were meeting for our birthday, and I told her
so many
I thought she'd
babies.
be happy for us both. I think she was.
Because we still have, I think less than half, but close to half.